Hi, I'm Steve Parker from Fidens. Here is your craft beer and brewing tip of the week. Once we get in the kettle, we do a 60-minute boil. At the 60-minute mark, we will drop usually anywhere from 10 to 15 IBUs. Once we are done our boil, we will bring the wort down to about 180 for our whirlpool. At that point, we will add about 2 pounds per barrel of hops in our whirlpool. We like to go heavy on the whirlpool because I want to try to pump as much of those oils and those hops into the fermenter during fermentation as possible. So that's why we go so heavy. Some people go lighter because they're worried about bitterness. I'm not worried about bitterness at that stage. During fermentation, we'll knock a lot of that bitterness out. We really pump that kettle full of hops at 2 pounds per barrel. During that time, we'll take a pH reading. We're looking for around 5, a 5 pH at knockout. We'll take a pH reading after we add the hops. Then we will add lactic acid into the kettle till we get our 5 pH for our knockout into the fermenter. That 10 to 15 minute, I like Simcoe if I have it, but a lot of times we just use, if we have an open bag of Simcoe or Citra, Columbus, we will use that. But we do like to add a little bit of hops in that beginning of the boil. I think it's just to add a little bit of bitterness to the beer of where we're at. Our beers do have a little bit of bitterness at the end, which is what we want. That 10 to 15 IBU 60-minute addition with the addition of the whirlpool at 180 gets us to the IBU range and bitterness that we want in our final product. After the boil, we knock the wort down to 180. Once we add the hops to the whirlpool, we will do a slow turn on the pump, just very gentle. It will just move very slow for about 15 minutes. And then we will turn the pump up a little more to get a little faster to really drop all those hops down for about 5. Then we shut off the pump. We let the wort sit there for 5 minutes. After those 5 minutes, then we start knocking out into the fermenter we knock out about 70 and ferment at 72. For our whirlpool hops, we use T90 hops. We're actually very, very picky about our whirlpool hops, of what hops that are in there. We like to use, Yakima Chief has this beautiful chart. It's a survivable compound chart, which I recommend anybody to look at that when they're building a recipe for the whirlpool hops. The compounds can survive in the whirlpool and survive during fermentation. So you'll be able to taste a pre-dry hop beer and still kind of get some of that hop flavor. Hops that we use a lot are Citra, Nelson, Idaho 7, Mosaic, Maltahueca, and Simcoe. Strata actually is quickly becoming one of my favorite whirlpool hops. I love the berry, strawberry character that you get from that hop. Pre-dry hop, when you're sampling a beer before you dry hop, it is outstanding. That hop really, really lasts through fermentation, and it has a beautiful hop presence into it. And it gives this berry note and strawberry note, a little bit of cannabis in the final beer product that even if you don't use hops that produce that, you can still taste it. So Strata's a very impressive hop for the whirlpool. To learn more about brewing Hazy IPA, click the link below.